Today was the first day of confirmation hearings for Health and Human Services Secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He defended some of his past controversial comments regarding health regulations and vaccines while fielding questions from skeptical Democrats.
I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said red dye caused cancer. And now FDA has acknowledged that and banned it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said fluoride lowered IQ. Last week, JAMA published a meta-review of 87 studies saying that there's a direct inverse correlation between IQ loss.
All right, so I'm going to assume
I could go on for about a week.
Now, you're coming before this committee and you say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on the usefulness of vaccines. Are you supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccines.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins me now from Capitol Hill. Nikole, from my perch, I actually couldn't see the onesie, so let me know what it says. We previously saw some senators who caucus with Democrats, like the one we just saw, Bernie Sanders, seem open to confirming Kennedy. Is that still the case?
Yeah, well, I did see those onesies. I took some pictures of them, and certainly it got a lot of attention from parents and non-parents alike. But, you know, look, they did have some anti-vax messaging on them, and that was Bernie Sanders' point. This was from an organization that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was once aligned with. And so that whole exchange, you had Senator Sanders ask him if he embraces that message, considering that he was before the committee today saying that he is not anti-vaccine. And that really was the crux of not only that exchange between Senator Sanders, but also type of exchange without the onesies, but that we saw with other Senate Democrats really try to square Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s past statements, past positions with what he was telling the committee today, which is to say that he felt that he was being mischaracterized as somebody who was anti-vax, anti-industry, which we heard him say in his opening statement. He was not. That being said, round two continues tomorrow with the Senate Health Committee, with Senator Sanders serving as the ranking member there, so I expect this same type of combative questioning perhaps to continue as Senate Democrats, many of them seemed dissatisfied with a lot of Kennedy's answers during today's hearing.
What other hearings are happening this week? Do we expect any of them to be as contentious as this?
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, I think the big one we've been talking about for some time now is the one involving Kash Patel, President Trump's pick for FBI director. In fact, it got so contentious a couple of weeks ago when we had that hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee for Pam Bondi, where a good chunk of that hearing wasn't about Pam Bondi, but it was about Kash Patel. And she repeatedly had to defend him and say, look, you can save your questions for him when he's before your committee. So he will be before the Senate Judiciary Committee tomorrow, where the senators will have a chance to question him about his stances and his posture with respect to the FBI. He has talked about shutting down the agency on day one. He has expressed views about the deep state, all of which we expect senators to get at. And of course, you have Tulsi Gabbard, the president's pick for Director of National Intelligence. Still many questions that senators have about her views with respect to Russia, with respect to that visit she took to Syria several years ago when she was a member of Congress, as well as her other views with respect to U.S. intelligence and policy, and also some questions about her qualifications. So that being said, we certainly expect a trifecta of contentious hearings come tomorrow, Lindsay.
A trifecta. How are lawmakers reacting to the Trump administration's federal freeze and unfreeze confusion?
Well, I think for the most part, many senators are breathing a sigh of relief. Look, particularly Senate Democrats, but even some Senate Republicans were concerned. They said their offices were being flooded with calls. Even in the House, we heard similar sentiments from members. So by and large, many of them seem relieved that this freeze now appears to be unfrozen. Leader Chuck Schumer said that he was very pleased that the Trump administration had walked this back. But that being said, there is still some angst among many Senate Democrats in particular who still want to hold up the nomination of Russ Vought, who is the president's pick for the Director of Office and Management and Budget. There is a committee vote scheduled on his nomination tomorrow in the Senate Budget Committee. But again, even in spite of these funds being unfrozen now by the White House, they still would like to see that nomination put on hold because they're concerned about potentially what Vought could do next.
Just another busy day in your beat. Nikole Killion, thank you.